To all you young kids out there living in the middle of nowhere, if you feel stuck, lost, or with no opportunity, this episode is for you. Today, my guest is Joseph, a 21-year-old kid from the small town in Nacogdoches, Texas. And within 1 year, he's already become one of our top reps, clearing almost $100,000 in the past few months. Joseph, welcome. Thanks for coming in today. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Okay, so name, where you're from. I already said where you're from. And then how did you find I Hail?
So I'm Joseph. I'm from Nacogdoches, Texas. I actually found y'all through my older brother, Chris.
Yes,
I believe he found y'all on Indeed in Austin.
that's
when y'all were
correct.
over there.
Yep.
He said, "Hey, this is a good opportunity." We had kind of been in sales, quote unquote, through high school and stuff. So he said, "Hey, come. We're going to Denver. Come try this out."
Yeah, so I remember that was last year. Your brother Chris, he had came on before you, and I guess kind of sold you the dream, so to speak. And
Yeah.
then you came out to Denver and you hustled the Denver Storm last year in 24. What was that like? I mean, to my knowledge, this was your first time leaving home to go into a new city. Kind of didn't know what to expect. Is this real? What's going on here? What was that like for you?
So, it was just a couple years after I graduated. I'd never left town. I'd, always lived there my whole life, obviously. And, Chris was telling me, "Hey, it's probably time to get out of town, go do something new, go find a new opportunity." And, I trust him. I didn't know much about the company, obviously, when I initially started, but I quickly grew to know that it was a good opportunity. It definitely, he said that the money was good, like-minded people, everything like that. And he made it, I guess, seem to be a little easier than it was. But you work for what you earn for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm sure it probably helped you seeing some of your brother's paychecks and,
Yeah.
verifying that, this is a real opportunity. But like you said, I mean, knocking doors, it's knocking doors. It's not glamorous or anything like that. So
Yeah.
yeah, you are earning your money for
hmm
sure. Um, what pushed you to actually say yes to this? I mean, obviously what you were selling. What is it you were selling before?
We were buying and selling, flipping cars, trucks, motorcycles,
Okay.
um, any kind of automotive, anything, I guess.
Okay. So I would just call that the small time flip hustle. Is that
Yeah,
accurate?
that's a good way to put it.
Okay.
Good way to put it.
Okay. What kind of income were you making doing that?
I never really added up all of my income. Obviously, because you sell something, you just reinvest all that money back into something else. So
Sure.
I guess profit margins were a little slimmer, but it's um, you know fresh out of high school, maybe 5 grand a month, something like that. Sometimes 8.
Okay.
Just depends on what we were doing at the time.
So, just kind of doing what you could to get by. You had some sales experience for, what that hustle was.
hmm
Probably some of it translated into what this is, obviously. Um, what would you say would be the biggest fear you had coming into this?
Um, just leaving home. I guess obviously I was comfortable there, lived with my parents, grandparents lived next door. I knew what I was doing there. I knew that I had a home, I had food, I had water, really anything I needed. So I guess just taking that leap of moving halfway across the country to, I guess you could say, an unknown job. Didn't know if I'd be good at it. Obviously had my doubts. So, the scariest part was just the unknown.
Sure. Yeah, that I would say that's probably the biggest thing I see, especially with guys that are your age, is just taking that leap of faith, like you said, traveling halfway across the country. We have some guys literally travel over 1,000
Yeah.
miles to get to wherever the storm is that we're hustling. But and if you have zero sales experience, zero knowledge about what this is, it can be scary. But thankfully, you have the training and everything that you do now to have confidence. What would you say is the biggest value add working here?
Um, like the most valuable thing learning, I guess.
Yeah, just the one thing that makes it worth it, I guess.
Um, Well, there's a lot of things that make it worth it, but I'd say the main thing that sticks out to me would be just the experience. Obviously, sales is a super important thing to learn because you can use that for the rest of your life every single day, um, in a lot of different scenarios. Um, and also just being around like-minded individuals that think like you, they have the same hustle, the same ideas. Because staying back home, there's some of my boys that just wanted to go do manual labor for 2-3 thousand a week. um, the money's decent, but I always knew that there was something bigger, better out there, and that's the main thing is our whole group is all just they're all focused on the big picture.
Yeah, there's a lot of similar sentiment, I would say, and feedback that we get, especially during the one-on-ones, is anybody who comes here, if you commit to the process, obviously you're going to make some money. You might win some cool prizes here and there, go on some cool trips, but the biggest value add that we hear time and time again is just you're getting the knowledge and the experience in the world of sales that you can kind of translate everywhere, and especially
100%.
door-to-door sales, which is arguably the hardest. So
Exactly. Yep.
let me see here. Let's talk commissions. You're around 60 units for the season. That translates to just under 100K at the full retro. What does that feel like?
Feels good.
Yeah.
Feels good. I can't lie about that. Obviously there's room for improvement. Like Diego, for example, doubling my numbers.
Diego's crushing it right
And
now.
yeah, he's doing great. But yeah, it is relieving, I guess, seeing those bigger paychecks rolling in each week, 6, 7, 8, 9,000. It's the most money I've personally made in my life. And yeah, it feels good. It does.
What do you plan on doing off-season wise? Cool trip, something special for your family? What do you got planned?
Me and my brother have been talking. I'm gonna take our family to Puerto Rico.
Oh man,
That's where we decided we're gonna take
nice.
them. 7-day vacation, 1 week. Nice Airbnb next to the beach. Obviously, all expenses paid on their part. They've done enough for me.
Do they know this yet?
They don't.
Oh man,
They don't. Well, they I pitched the idea to them that, hey, I want to take the family on vacation.
Okay.
And they know that it's up in the air, but I think we found out what we want to do.
You'll have to hide this episode from them. Thank God we're not that big on YouTube yet.
I can't send it over to them just yet.
Oh man, that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I think that's easily the most rewarding thing that we've heard from reps time and time again.
Mm-hmm.
Coming into the next preseason is what they did in the off season, and buying something cool for yourself, that's cool, but what you can do for your family, trips, stuff like that, I mean, that's the stuff that really makes it all worth it.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
What would you say is your biggest challenge you've faced in door-to-door sales?
For me personally, just being lazy.
Being lazy.
Yeah.
Elaborate.
Some days I wake up, 8 or 9 o'clock. I have a membership to Lifetime. I decide that I don't want to go to Lifetime and I want to stay in bed or stay at the house and do something that I think would be better.
Okay.
Also, just knowing that I'm not putting in the amount of work that I should be.
Okay.
It's procrastination runs in the family, I think.
Man, I wouldn't say laziness would be your kryptonite.
What do you think my kryptonite is?
I mean, I don't know. I guess we can all push ourselves harder, but I don't know if I'd quite call you lazy.
Well, not laziness, just not pushing myself to the full potential.
Not as much discipline.
Exactly.
Maybe we'll say that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Discipline is key. We were just talking about that in the sales meeting. Is
very important.
All the attributes that we laid out for the competition for this month, and just making sure guys are hitting all their metrics. So I mean, yeah, it goes back to that simple word, discipline. What's it like being an Ihalian?
It's great. It's great. I mean, getting to the job is fun. Obviously, if you're not having fun, then you're doing something wrong. You go out with one of your buddies, go knock some doors, have a good time.
What would you say is the best advice you could give a new recruit?
Um, hmm. A recruit that is debating on joining iHill or that has joined
Has already
iHill,
joined. Has already
has already
joined.
joined.
Yeah.
Um, be consistent and have a good time. If you're not consistent, if you I guess consistency kind of bleeds into being disciplined as well. If you don't have a schedule, you don't know for sure what you're gonna do and when you're gonna do it. It's not going to go in your favor, I guess you could say.
Yeah. So we talked about that at the meeting as well today about just making sure that you have the next day planned out.
Yeah.
And every single step that you need to be successful. I mean, we have it laid out on a playbook. So as long as you're just following the playbook, you will have success. Is that fair to say?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you just have to keep your head in the game. You have to go out there. You have to know what you're gonna do, and you have to do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hitting your knocks.
Exactly.
So, what would you say has changed in your life since coming on board? It could be anything from lifestyle habits. One thing I noticed personally was, I mean, you bought a Mercedes S Class, so that was nice. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
what's changed in your life since this opportunity?
Well, from how I grew up to how I'm living now, it's two completely different things. Obviously, I grew up in a small town in Southeast Texas and grew up working on cars and trucks and doing more manual labor stuff. I've owned only trucks my whole life. Those have been my daily vehicles. So yeah, what you mentioned moving from I had an F-250 in OKC and moved over to an S class, which is completely different bracket of vehicles. I think I've matured a lot, moving away from home, taking that leap. I think I've grown in my faith with God as well. It's very important to me. You obviously as well. Um, what else has changed? I think my mindset also, just a more clear picture of what my actual goals are, my long-term goals, short-term goals, and things that I'm going to commit to and achieve, I guess.
One thing I always say is, if you give me a new recruit as a boy, in short time, I'll make him a man. And
Exactly.
no,
Yeah.
that happens with every hail season for sure. So
Mhm.
it sounds like you had a little bit of a lifestyle upgrade, grew in your faith, grew in your goals, all good things for
Grew
sure.
overall as an individual,
That's awesome.
upwards and onwards.
What would you say a normal day looks like for you out in the field?
Um, like step by step,
Yeah, just
like
beginning of the day to the end of the day.
wake up,
What does that look like? Yeah.
wake up, um, brush my teeth, get cleaned up, deodorant, cologne, get ready for the day. You have to look nice, you have to smell nice. That always, improves your interactions with people.
Appearances.
Exactly. If you walk up to someone stinky and not looking your best, you're more than likely going to get turned away.
No one wants that. A stinky
Exactly.
salesperson.
Get cleaned up, look your best. Normally I like to run some gas stations in the morning from anywhere from 10:30 to, I guess now with the new meeting time at 1, 12 to 12:30. Um, pick a few pick a few cars off there at the gas station, go to the meeting, have a refresher, talk with everyone, kind of see how their morning went, what their goals are for the day, and then go hit the doors. Probably no later than 3 till dark normally.
So getting your morning approaches in, then sales meeting, then knocks after that.
Yeah. Morning approaches I think are the most important. Gets you warmed up for the day. Obviously the hot spot in the day is 4 to dark normally is when people are starting to come home. That just allows you to get everything flowing, get your mumbles out in the morning, and hit the ground running.
I always loved selling in the morning because, you get those type A personalities where, if they're up and they're out and they're, going throughout their day, getting stuff done, they're the type of person where if there's an issue, they'd like to get it handled.
Exactly. Yeah.
So hail damage on their car, you can have some success with those morning approaches for
Mhm.
sure.
Yep.
All right. So we got the big prize for the year, million in revenue and or 100 units gets a $15,000 Rolex.
Yeah.
Are you going to win the Rolex this year?
I am.
Okay.
Yeah, I am.
I mean, at the end of the season, we're going to have a special episode for all the watches. So I'll be very
Yeah.
disappointed if I don't have a green box here for you.
Well,
So,
you don't have to, you won't be disappointed.
Okay,
Because there
okay.
will be a green box.
Okay, for
I
sure.
just need to pick out what's going to be in the green box.
That's true. That's true. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Well, Joseph, thank you so much for joining me today. Appreciate it, brother.
Yes, sir.
We'll
Thanks
end
for
on
having
that.
me.
Yeah, absolutely.